Hi there, and welcome to the Gazette's weekly Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Kime of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. While Canadiens GM Kent Hughes was able to make an addition to the lineup just ahead of the NHL's holiday roster freeze, bringing Phillip Danault back to Montreal late Friday night in a trade with the Los Angeles Kings. Hughes gave up a second-round draft pick next year that he acquired along with Patrick Laine in that trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Knuckles, your first thoughts on Phillip Danault coming home?
Listen, I like it. You know, Jake Evans hurt. You know, it helps him solidify the middle some. It brings in an experienced guy can kill penalties, good on faceoffs. You know, I know everybody's worried about the offense. I'm not. You know, I think this team power play, and you never know, 5-on-5, he'd chip in here and there. He's not going to score the 27 goals he scored back when he went to L.A. that first time. But, again, he brings in experience and a guy that can play in this market, and that's key.
Yeah, and as you say, well, the trade was made before Evans was hurt, but I mean, if Evans is out for any extended period, that's going to make this addition even bigger, though. Rick, I know you usually don't trust forwards, but Phillip Danault might be one of the ones that you do.
Well, without question, bringing in a guy like that, he's going to, bolster their group, and he's quite happy, to say the least, coming back and pumped and excited to play in this market. And I think that he's going to do some good things. I mean, he's not the same Dano that we saw a number of years ago, but with that type of experience and that type of personality that he has, I think is a bonus. And of course, with the injury bug that seems to be haunting the Canadiens at this point, you can hope that you can bring some guys in. They can't keep depleting what they have in Laval. This guy is going to fill the bill, so to speak, and help them get through this tough time.
I mean, he obviously wasn't happy with the role he had in LA. That was part of the reason he left Montreal originally. He wasn't sure if he was going to be a third-line center behind Kotkaniemi and Suzuki or what the deal was going to be. But Knuckles, you've come back to Montreal after being traded away and come back. What's it feel like when you come back here?
Well, it was, for me, it was a little odd. There were some guys I knew. It's different. It was different for me. I was 34. I knew I was at the end. A little different. He's 32, a couple years younger, in a different league, obviously. But like I said, they're going to welcome with open arms. I just think it's a good move for this team, especially up the middle. Experience, that goes a long way. Down the road, looking at the playoff situation, they get in the playoffs, they're going to need a guy like Dano in the playoffs. And again, I'm not looking at the offensive side of things, and I think he can also, with his knowledge and his ability to play in his own end of the rink, maybe help this team in certain areas.
Yeah, I mean, he only had no goals, 5 assists with LA. So wasn't really happy with the role that he was playing there. But in the playoffs last year, he had 8 points in 6 games against Edmonton, going up against Connor McDavid. So I think he can still play. But Rick, was it worth giving up a second-round pick to bring him here?
Yeah, I think so, because who knows what a second-round pick really brings you. They needed an immediate relief to bring a guy in that's able to perform at the NHL level, and he's proven that he has. And like I said, he's really excited to be here, and he's probably pumped to bring his A game each and every night, and make a real good contribution that he did when he played here before.
Yeah, I mean, as Kent Hughes, when he first came in here in the rebuild, stockpiling draft picks, stockpiling young prospects. They still have another second-round pick next year, so they gave up one, but they still have another one. And the thing I'm wondering too, Knuckles, with him coming back here, Brendan Gallagher has struggled this year also offensively. I mean, these two guys, when they were together, they made up a great line along with Thomas Tatar. Do you see them playing together, and you think Dano might spark Gallagher and vice versa?
Possibly, but with Tatar on the wing, he had speed, he had quickness. Again, Gallagher was a little younger, he was battling, so you have to see. I mean, they're probably comfortable together, but again, Brendan's where he's at in his career, and we'll see. Maybe that rejuvenates him on some nights. We'll see. The whole thing with Danault here is that experience coming in here, and I'm not worried about the numbers. to be honest with you, with him. I just think he brings that calming influence in certain situations where he's able to help a good penalty killer again in the face-off dot, and he can play in his own end of the rink. He's a smart player.
Yeah, Rick, I think he's going to take a lot of, or some of the workload off of Suzuki also, right? I mean, Suzuki's usually playing against the other team's top centerman. He's also been used on the PK, and I think that might help because, I mean, Nick Suzuki's been logging a lot of hard minutes with this team.
I think so. I mean, he's done it in the past, and I think his type of character is one that he loves that type of challenge, and he thrives on it, and he's shown before that he's able to handle it. And I think it's a real good bonus to have a guy like that that's able to handle some pressure situations and rise up to the challenge of doing a job each and every night. And it's going to be fun to see how he fits into the group and where he's being used. Again, remains to be seen, but I think that his past has shown that he's able to do anything when given the opportunity. So hopefully it will be nothing but good things to see from him.
Yeah, and his excitement level coming back. I mean, he never really wanted to leave here, right? He got in a contract dispute with Marc Bergevin. It didn't end well, and he left. I thought it was kind of cool that Kent Hughes gave him a few days to settle things with his family in LA and not like right away come join the Canadiens, get things settled at home in LA, get things settled here, and then come and join the team. So that just speaks to how this team management treats players as not just as human beings and not just as a piece of meat. And one player who's really impressed me recently, Knuckles, is Juraj Slafkovsky. I mean, the last month or so, since Marty St. Louis moved him from the first line to the second line with Oliver Kapanen and Ivan Demidov instead of playing with Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, he's just been dominating. And how do you explain that?
Starting to mature as a player. It takes time. I don't care how big you are, how good you are. When you come to this league, there's an adjustment period. And he was a boy when he got here, and he still is a young kid, but he was in that man's body. And I think a lot of people expected so much out of him, first overall. Why'd they pick him over right? Blah, blah, blah. And the kid's coming into his own. He's been an absolute beast. He's kind of getting hit a couple times here lately where he seemed like I don't know if he relaxed a little or just think because of his size he'll be able to, and he handles it. He gets knocked on his ass a couple times there. He gets up and goes. But I really noticed him around the net. He's moving the puck better. On the wall, in the corners, he's controlling the puck. He's holding guys off. Like, that is the type of player you win with in the playoffs. Big time, and he's coming to his own. It's so awesome to watch. He's been a beast. I love that kid. Like, listen, there were growing pains. It's like anything. I think, and we saw those pains. And people often get impatient and we picked this guy. What the hell? When's he gonna do this? When's he gonna do that? Well, we're starting to see that maturity. I saw Jeff. And Kent the other night quickly, but I saw Jeff and I said, people are starting to realize why you picked him first overall, aren't they? And they are.
I think he's better with that line, Rick. I mean, he seems to, I think with Suzuki and Caulfield, he was sort of deferring to them all the time. And now, like, we're seeing him carry the puck. We're seeing he's sort of like the veteran on that line with these young kids. And I mean, these kids are all 22 and under. This looks really good for the future moving forward.
Super confident now. He's come to realize the type of game that he needs to play each and every night, and he's doing it. And he's skating well. He's holding on to the puck. He's doing all the things that we were hoping to see consistently before. And the good news is he's maturing. And bottom line here, he's come to understand what kind of player he is, what kind of player he needs to be successful in the NHL, and he's doing it. And what a nice player to watch, and big, strong. Takes guys out with force now, and he's competing hard. Really good stuff, and more great stuff to see.
He's a KG veteran at 21.
Yeah. Well, he's got a lot of games under his belt, right? It's and you're right, Knuckles. He's playing like a beast. I mean, the other side of that now, Marty has put Zachary Bolduc on the number one line. Is he the right guy in that position?
Yeah. Listen, like we said, Slafkovsky going with them other guys, going down there, taking a more prominent role, stepping up to the plate, leading that line somewhat, and playing with good players. Now, gives you more depth there. And Bolduc, yeah, I don't have a problem with him there. Listen, he's a kid who can skate well. He plays physical. He doesn't shy away from that. He's got a great shot. You know, I think he's fine there. I mean, what are you going to do? Who are you going to put there?
Yeah, maybe Kirby Dach when he comes back. But Marty St. Louis was the other day, he had a good point. He was saying, you know, you got to realize with Bolduc, young kid coming to a new city, hometown, a new system, new teammates, new everything else. It'd take a little while, but I mean, he's a good hockey player, Rick. There's no doubt about that. You watch him, there's a lot of potential there.
He'll be fine.
He's a good player, and he's he's going to complement those guys with a little more time. He understands that if he goes to the net, he's going to create opportunities for those other guys to do the magic on the ice, and it's a little intimidating for a guy to come and play with those other two, and be always looking to give it to them to make things happen. And I think that with time he's going to feel and be adjusted to what he needs to do to have success as a group. And again, he's a young guy trying to feel his way along, and he has the ingredients, I think, that will eventually be effective in making that line go and be dangerous each and every game.
Well, Knuckles, like at Christmas time last year, one of the big question marks with the Canadiens was the goaltending. Samuel Montembeault gets sent down to Laval on a conditioning stint, plays 2 games there, and originally he was supposed to join the Canadiens in Pittsburgh on Sunday. The Canadiens changed their mind. They brought him back to Montreal to work out more in Brassard. He's not going to join the team now until after the Christmas break. What do you do with Samuel Montembeault after the Christmas break?
God, it sounds like we're talking about an old racehorse that we're going to turn into glue. Please, listen. It's difficult. You're in a situation where you got 3 goaltenders now. Do you trade one of them, or do you keep them around? And the 3 goalie thing does not work.
No, they're not going to. I can't see them keeping 3 goalies again.
It does not help anything. So I don't know. They got to look at, can they make a deal with him? Everybody in the league knows he's struggling. It's not like it's everybody in the league got their head in the sand. So is it going to be easy to move that player if that's the consideration? Because honestly, I like Dobej's game than Montembeault, better than Montembeault. And again, when Sam was here, and again, this is a team that was learning in the first few years he was playing here with this team. He certainly had some great nights, but he was playing behind a team that struggled really bad with their defensive play, right? They did. Come on, we saw it. And at times, still, they struggle with that. That's one of them. Some games they look awesome. Other games, when they get against those better teams, they have a difficult time down low in their own end. Again, so I don't want to put it all on him, but I never looked at him as that bona fide NHL starter. I just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he was good. He was never great, but he was really consistent. I mean, his save percentage was right around 900 the last 3 years, Rick. I mean, and to see him lose it just the way he's done, I mean, he had to agree to go to Laval in the conditioning stint. But if the Canadiens want to send him back down there, he's got to clear waivers, and you wonder if the Canadiens take that route and risk another team taking him.
I think the bottom line, they're hoping that he finds a way to get his game back somewhat, because the three goalie situation, as we've said, is not a pleasant one. But they've got to win hockey games. They got to go with what they think is going to give them a chance to win every night. And unfortunately, Montembeault is not one of those guys right now, and they're hoping they're going to handle him the right way and get him back. But it remains to be seen, because right now the top 2 guys in Fowler and Dobej can do it, and it's going to be a lot of conversations on the best way to handle this scenario with the 3 goalies, because it just doesn't work. Not healthy. They don't like it. Team doesn't like it, and it doesn't work.
Well, Knuckles Fowler comes in, fourth NHL game, gets a shutout at the Bell Center. Fans are chanting his name. He's the first star. He says afterwards, I don't deserve this. I haven't done anything here yet. He's a likable kid. He's a confident kid. He's got a little bit of cockiness to him also. But what have you liked about him most? And should the Canadiens just keep him here now? Can they send him back to Laval?
You know what I like about goalies most? When they stop that fucking puck. That's it. No, listen, awesome for him. I was at the game the other night, Pittsburgh game. He played well. He's solid. You don't see him flopping around. You don't see him lose the net a lot. He's in good position. He made some big saves. Listen, I just like him. He got good pedigree. Billy Ryan, the scout here, I know him from Boston. I've known him for years.
Yeah, he's the one who went to bat. He's the one who.
Oh, he went to bat big time.
Yeah, I know that video they showed. He would say, pick this guy. You want to pick the guy who wins, and he's a winner. I remember that video.
I sat with him preseason, and he said, Cret, this kid is the real deal. And I've heard it before, scouts pushing their players. I get all that. But he said he's the real deal. I'm so confident. This kid has won everywhere he's went. And we all know the NHL, it's different. It's different. But, boy, in the early going here, I'm loving what I see from the kid. There's no question. He's just solid. He doesn't, not losing that. Come on. Primo came kind of hyped up a bit. Maybe not as much as this kid, but, he had a difficult time. He always seemed like he was losing his net. He was out of the crease. He'd slide too far. And, he looks tight in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that video with Ryan is great for fans that haven't seen it. If you go on YouTube and just Google Canadiens draft meetings or whatever before that draft, he was really, really passionate about it. Rick, another guy we've spoken about a lot on previous shows, Xhekaj. I know you're one of his biggest fans, Knuckles. Actually, you are his biggest fan, Knuckles. Rick might be second behind you, but he's been playing recently. He's been paired with Adam Engstrom. I know you had mentioned earlier, Rick, you'd like to see him maybe play with Lane Hudson. Engstrom's not Lane Hudson, but he's an offensive puck-moving type defenseman. Looks like a pretty good fit with Arber.
Good combination, and they're feeding off each other, better each and every game. And I think it's really critical to have the good mix back there, and it seems that these guys have that mix. And it takes a little bit of time to understand, what you're getting into when you're playing with a partner like that. But I like what I've seen so far. They both got good size, and they're very dependable. They seem to be able to make good decisions with the puck, and that's what you want out of a pairing. And Engstrom doesn't mind getting up the ice and getting involved, and Xhekaj will hold the fort on the back. And they're complementing each other, and that's a good combination.
Knuckles, they bring up Engstrom, and Arber's maybe thinking this guy might take my job, and now they're together, and Arber just seems to be playing with more confidence recently with that.
Yeah, he does. And you got Gooley knocking on the door, coming back, so we'll see what happens. But I'm glad when Arber is paired, okay, with anybody up here, and he's not paired with someone in Laval. That's it. Thank you.
Well, I know, Knuckles, I saw you after the game the other night. You were chatting with Jeff Molson. Just what's his, he must be a very happy man right now. This rebuild coming into place and into shape, probably even better than he thought it would.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him about that, but I'm sure he's happy with what's going on. I know he is. It's starting to look, we're starting to see a more consistent team again. We talk about that draft pick for Dano and this and that. At some point, you have to stop bringing, when we talk about it, some men in here. Dano's a man. He's been around. He got that consistency. He got that pedigree. But they had a plan that at some point they're going to try and bring in some of those guys to help this team get over the hump. Guys with experience that can get them through the playoffs and maybe get them to the final. Not so much get them into the playoffs. So, yeah, we're gonna maybe start to see some of that happen. You could keep drafting players. I get it. You got to keep that American Hockey League team solid. You got to be able to deal with injuries and bring guys in and out. But a second round pick, I'm okay with that. But again, yeah, the things are going pretty good there, and I'm liking what I'm seeing.
No, Hughes done a great job of bringing guys in and not giving up a lot. I mean, for Jordan Harris, in exchange for Jordan Harris, got Patrick Laine and Phillip Danault. I mean, that's without really giving up anything. So that's good management, especially during a rebuild. Anyway, that's it for this week's Hockey Inside Out show. The Canadiens are back in action Tuesday night in Boston against the Bruins, and Dano is expected to be in the lineup. After that, they'll enjoy a 4-day Christmas break in the schedule before playing the Lightning in Tampa on Sunday and the Panthers in Florida next Tuesday in their final game of 2025. We'll have 3 Hockey Inside Out show bonus episodes coming up over the next few days, so look for those. And Hockey Inside Out is also available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. We'll be taking a little bit of a holiday break also. No Hockey Inside Out show next week. We'll have a new show again on January 7th. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to everybody who likes watching our show.